Hello, welcome to this class designed to warm, stretch and strengthen your knees as well as helping you challenge your balance a little bit. For this class you will need a brick or a book, and as we start seated you might want to elevate your hips slightly, perhaps on either a brick or a blanket. I'm going to use a blanket here. And we'll start with our legs crossed. If that feels comfortable, otherwise do not hesitate to extend the legs. Relax the shoulders, place the palms facing up towards the ceiling. And keep the crown of the head long, up towards the ceiling too. Elbows in towards the side of the waistline. And close your eyes, and for the next few breaths, just start to notice what it feels like to be you right now on your mat. Some days it feels quite easy to come to your mat and just press play and go. And some days it might feel like you need to get over mountains even, before you can get to where you can start. So allow whatever has happened to you so far today to very gently dissolve in the background as you allow your awareness to focus in your breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose if that's comfortable for you. Noticing how much the breath travels in your body. Perhaps it gets into your ribs, into your belly, or maybe just in towards the neck and the collarbone. Notice as you inhale the expansion into the body, the front of the body and the back of the body. And as you exhale, notice what happens as the air is expelled away from your lungs and out through the nose or perhaps the mouth. Take another 3 breaths like this. Expanding, noticing and releasing. When you're ready to slowly open your eyes, bring the gaze back through to the center, and you can release the legs in the opposite crossing, or maybe one leg out, one knee bend, or 2 legs out. Let's inhale it, and as we exhale, release the left ear towards the left shoulder. Take a breath here. And then take the left arm over to the right ear, allowing simply gently the weight of the hand to be resting against the head. And then if you'd like, you can press the head against the hands so as to offer a little bit of resistance and stretch in the side of the neck. Then we'll release the hand, very gently bring the head back through towards the center. Take a breath and then over to the other side. Again, a couple of breaths to give some time for the ear to gently release towards the shoulder. And then right arm over towards the left ear, merely resting. And if you wish, press the head against the hand. Notice if one side feels easier or more comfortable than the other. Release the hand very gently, bring the head back through towards the centre, and then bring the shoulders right up to the ears. As you exhale, release, drop the shoulders, inhale, and again, one more. Good. From this, let's take the arms out to shoulder height and move the fingers. And then taking some rotations in the wrists, about 3 or 4 in one direction, and then 3 to 4 in the other direction. We're going to open and close. So here, palms are facing up towards the ceiling, thumbs are behind you. You're going to now turn the thumbs up and then forward and then down, and allow the movement to come all the way into the shoulder, so the thumbs might end up behind you. And then this time again you reverse, and when the palms come up towards the ceiling, maybe you can try to open the thumbs a little bit more back. So let's do this a couple more times. Gaze along your arms to make sure that this movement is going all the way into the shoulders. Next time the palms are facing up towards the ceiling, you're going to interlace the fingers above the head. Press the palms up. Alternatively, keep the palms facing down. Alternatively, keep the arms into cactus arms. So here we're trying to elongate into the sides of the body. Good. Then you're going to release the arms out to the side and fall yourself forward. Perhaps you take the legs wide if that's more comfortable for you. Otherwise you're here, you're releasing yourself. Making sure that both sitting bones are on the floor. Inhale, gaze towards your hands. Exhale, bring hands to either side of the left leg. And allowing both sitting bones to still remain on the floor, you fall forward however much feels good. Take 3 breaths here. Inhale, gaze back towards the hands. Exhale, bring yourself back through towards the centre. Inhale, bring yourself a little longer in the spine. Exhale, come over to the other side and release the forehead down towards the leg. Any amount. And stay there for 3 breaths. Gaze back towards the hands. Exhale, come back through towards the centre. Navel in towards the spine as you inhale and roll yourself back up. And then as you exhale, you're going to extend your legs forward. Taking the right hand to the outside of the left leg, circling the left hand behind you so that you can twist and turn. Gaze back through towards the centre, the spine comes back through towards the centre. Left arm to the outside of the right leg, right hand behind you. goes back through to the centre, the spine comes back through towards the centre. And let's look at our legs for now. So I'm going to ask you to activate your legs. How do we activate the legs? So right now, take your hands to your knees, and then you're going to very gently, with your thumbs maybe and fingers, just move your kneecaps a little bit from side to side. So be kind, of course, gentle. But here you might notice and maybe even see that they move. There's room for movement here. To engage the legs and to engage the knees, you're going to take the toes up towards you and then hug the muscles to the bone. So activate the thighs and the bottom to a certain extent, so that now when you take your fingers to the kneecaps, they're not moving and you can feel that your thighs are engaged. Release, and then again have a little, can definitely feel them moving. And again, let's activate, so push the feet or the legs into the floor, take the toes in towards yourself, engage the thighs. Notice that there is very little movement or none at all in the knees. And again, release the legs out to the side. Good. From there, let's come onto our hands and knees. And then we're going to bring ourselves towards the back of the mat and sit back onto the heels. Now, of course, if that isn't so much comfortable to have that much flexion into your knees, you may well just be a little bit more forward, because we're going to move into our kneeling sun salutation. Start forehead to floor, hands behind you. Inhale, you're going to lift up. Exhale, come into your puppy, so your bum is above your knees and you can stretch the spine forward. Inhale, bring the hands under the shoulders, crown of the head up, tailbone up into your little hammock or cow. And then as you exhale, you push the floor away, you push your shins down into your little rainbow or cat. Inhale, crown of the head up, tailbone up. Exhale, release yourself into your child's posture. Let's take a few more of those. So inhale, lift up. Exhale, puppy. Inhale, hands under the shoulders, cow. Exhale, push the floor away, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, child. Two more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. Inhale, cow. Exhale. And then inhale, cow. Exhale, child. One last time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, puppy. Inhale. Exhale, cat. Inhale. Exhale, child. Good. And so from here we're going to slide ourselves back. We're going to come back up, taking a little bit of a stretch into our knees and our toes. Bear in mind that if that's not comfortable for you, you come back up anywhere that feels comfortable. How about stretching into the toes first? So come forward, take all of your toes down towards the floor, even spreading all the way down to the little toes. And then you can sit back onto your heels and find that stretch into the toes. Good. Now you could push yourself back up to standing, but if this is just a little too much, we're going to take one leg forward, press down to lift up and come back up. So now that you are up, we're going to spread the toes, big toes, little toes, all the way out, fanning out really as if you had toe separators, toe dividers. Big toe mound, little toe mound, inner heel, outer heel. You're going to engage your thigh muscles, so remember you're trying to pull up the kneecaps and you're engaging the buttocks as well, and release the shoulders back down to the side with the fingers pointing down. Let's warm up into our toes and knees a little bit more and challenge the balance by inhaling, coming up onto the toes, exhaling, coming down. Let's do this a couple more times. So up and down. Really keep the big toe mound, the little toe mound. The inner heel, the outer heel. And really lift up. Good. And release. How about we do this one last time? Come up and release. What if we were to take the arms as we do this? Trust that my arms are here, even if you can't see them. We're going to inhale, come up. Exhale, come down. Good. 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. So really think about the ball of the big toe and the ball of the little toe, as well as all the others pressing down firmly. Good. I've lost count. Can't even count to 4 these days. So there we go. We'll do one more for the road just in case. And release the arms out to the side. Well done. Now from this, you have the toes separated and divided. Big toe, little toe, inner heel, outer heel. You're going to have toes and heels together. Bend the knees and have the arms really straight. Engage the thighs muscles. Engage the buttocks as well. Navel in towards the spine. You're long. You're like a soldier, if you like. From here, you're going to bend the knees and then come back. And again, bend the knees. So allow those knees to track. You can check that they're tracking, but because the toes and heels are together, they should be, and you're trying to keep the shoulders and the hips aligned. So again, bend and lift. Now we're going to bend the knees and then lift the heels so we're onto the toes. Release the heels, straighten the knees. Try to move from the shoulders to the hips as little as possible. Again, bend the knees, come up onto the toes, release the heels, straighten the knees. 2 more. Bend the knees, come up onto the toes. Release the heels, lengthen. And once more, bend the knees, come up, release, straighten. Good. Now from this, we're going to legs straight. We're going to come up onto the toes, bend the knees, release the heels, straighten the legs. So again, up onto the toes, bend the knees, heels to floor, straighten the legs. 2 more. Again, inhale, lift up, bend the knees, release the heels, straighten the knees. Last time, inhale, bend the knees, release the heels, straighten the knees. Good. Now release the legs a little bit, just like they're moving from side to side here. Well done. Come to the top of your mat. And we'll take a few warming sun salutation here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Crown of the head down. Allow for now yourself to be into a forward fold so you can stretch into the back of the legs. Let's start slowly for the first couple of sun salutation. Going to gaze forward, take the right leg back and the right knee under the right hip. And if you want, you can lift the arms up above the head. Lengthen the tailbone, lift the chest, gaze up towards the ceiling. Then take the hands to either side of the front leg, tuck the back foot, take the front leg back into a down dog. Alternatively onto your hands and knees. Push the floor away, sitting bones moving towards the corner
if you have a corner anywhere that's above your bum. And you push the thighs away and maybe even release the heels. Then again, come up onto the toes, forward into a plank or a half a plank, and then we'll release ourselves all the way down to the floor.
Forearm at the front, so the elbows are under the shoulders, Sphinx. Take a couple of breaths to allow the back of the chest to open up. And then elbows out to the side, take the hands to the side of the chest, tuck the toes, sit back into your heels. Lift up into a down dog. Again here, taking a couple of breaths. Lift the right leg up towards the ceiling and take it forward. Several ways of doing this. And then you can release the knee, left knee down to the floor. Inhale and lift. Take a couple of breaths. Release the hands down to the floor. Take the back leg all the way to the front. Crown of the head down, bend the knee, sweep the floor. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands in towards the chest. Let's take this to the other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward and down. Left leg goes back, left knee goes down to the floor. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Tuck the back foot, the front leg goes back. Stay for a couple of breaths. Then up onto the toes, forward into a plank or a half a plank, and then you can release yourself all the way down to the floor. Maybe here a Sphinx, or a cobra, or an upward facing dog, if you know what feels right and good in your body. Elbows out to the side, hands to the side of the chest, sit back into your heels.
Lift back up into the down dog. To stay here for a couple of breaths. And when we look to take the back leg towards the front, if you or find that the back leg never wants to come all the way in between the hands, I refer you to a tutorial previously recorded about how to lunge from the down dog into a lunge. Lift the left leg, come all the way to the front, and then lift. I forgot to make you stay for a couple of breaths on the other side, so here, let's stay. Release the hands down to the floor, tuck the back foot, it comes forward, crown of the head down, bend the knee, sweep the floor, and then release the hands in towards the chest. Take the arms out to the side of the body. Good, we'll take a couple more, going a little bit faster if we want to. So inhale, exhale down. Right leg goes back and knee goes down. Lift and release. Down dog or hands and knees. Plank or hands and knees with the crown of the head a little bit further forward. Release yourself down to the floor. And then take back bend of your choice. Sit back into your heels briefly, or even come straight back into your down dog. Lift the right leg and then bring it forward. Left knee down to floor. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Back leg to the front. Bend the knee, sweep. Hands in towards the chest. Over to the other side. Arms up and down. Left leg back, left knee down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Tuck the back foot, front leg goes back into your down dog. Stay as you exhale. Onto the toes, forward into a plank or a half a plank.
Release, nose, chin, chest, and then bring yourself into a back bend. Back into the down dog, maybe via child's pose. Lift the left leg, it comes forward, knee to floor, arms up, arms down. Back leg steps forward, crown of the head down. Bend the knee, sweep the floor, hands in towards the chest. Release the arms out to the side. Face towards the long end of your mat here. Roughly in the middle. We'll be jumping out, only if that feels comfortable for you, otherwise you can step the legs wide into a stance wide enough to be coming into our warriors in triangle. So we'll bend the knees, fingertips together, 1, 2, 3, jump out. And when you jump out, check that the outer edges of your feet are somewhere between the elbows and the wrists. Hands to hip. Turn the left toes in and then the right toes out. Here we are pressing big toe, little toe, inner heel, outer heel of both legs. We're engaging the legs so that, again, the kneecap here is quite strongly in place. Imagine that you're sort of rubbing some, well, not rubbing them in, but actually getting rid of crumbs on your trousers so that you have that idea of outwardly rotating the thighs. And look towards the front leg. Bend the front knee so that it goes just above the ankle. Remember, big toe mound, little toe mound, inner heel, outer heel. Turn the shoulders and the hips facing towards the long end of the mat. Lift your arms up, relax the shoulders. Try to walk the arms a little bit more out so that you've got more space in the joints, and then you may gaze towards the middle finger of the front arm. Stay here for about 3 to 5 breaths, depending on the length of your breath. Release the hands to the hips, straighten the front leg. Have your feet parallel once more. And from this time we'll turn to the other side. So the right toes turn in the ball of the foot, and the left toes turn out. So again, if I personally, knowing my body, if I don't engage my legs and allow, my kneecap will be moving around here. And then if I come forward, then the knee more than likely will turn in. So here, pressing big toe, little toe, inner heel, outer heel, engaging the thighs, and that automatically turns because I'm activating the muscles, outwardly rotating a little bit. So I'm going to make sure to reinforce this with my shooing the crumbs away, and then I bend the front knee so that I can see that my knee is in line with my second and third toe. Shoulders and hips facing towards the long end of the mat. Lift the arms up. Get a little bit more space, gaze towards the middle finger of the front arm for anything between 3 to 5 breaths. Pressing those feet down, feeling the strength and length into the legs. When you're ready, release the hands to the hips, straighten the front leg, and have your feet parallel once more. Take the arms out, bend the knees slightly. You can walk, you can step, you can jump your legs back together, releasing the arms out to the side. Take a couple of breaths here, and whilst we take a couple of those breaths, let's Plant, big toe, little toe, inner heel, outer heel. We're going to have the arms in front of us, so to shoulder height, with the palms facing down. Come up onto the toes, try to keep your ankles together, might want to separate. Go as low as feels comfortable, keeping your upper body upright. So some of you will probably want to stop quite high up, and some of you will be able to go all the way down. Your heels at this point are lifted. Your arms in front of you are helping you to keep that balance. When you can, press back up. Well done. Release the arms out to the side. And we're going to bend the knees, take the hands in towards the chest. 1, 2, 3, jump back out again. This time, hands to the hips once more. Left toes turning in, right toes turning out, engaging the legs, so you're pulling up your kneecaps by engaging big toe, little toe, inner heel, outer heel, and engaging the legs and the bottom. Then you're going to take the arms out to shoulder height, hinge forward, and then release the hand wherever feels comfortable on the leg. If it's going to be anywhere around the knee, then you want it to be under or above. You don't want to press that knee down. Top arm can be facing towards the long end of the mat or onto the hip so that you keep the shoulders open. For now, let's check the alignment. So nose, knee, fingers and toes in line. And then we can gaze forward, we can even gaze up and stay here for another couple of breaths. Press, come all the way back up. Hands to the hips. Turn the feet parallel once more. Over to the other side. Right toes in, left toes out. Engage the legs. Pull up on those legs to engage the thighs and the buttocks. Arms to shoulder height. Inhale, exhale, hinge forward, release yourself down. So the palm gazing down, palm is on the leg, nose, knees, palm and fingers and toes in the same direction. Top arm could be up or it could be to your hip. Remember to be kind, remember to be gentle to yourself. You can gaze forward, you can gaze up, you can gaze down. Shoulders away from the ears, extend the crown of the head. One more breath. And then lift yourself back up. Release the hands to the hips. Have the feet parallel once more. You can jump, step, hop, bend the knees, 1, 2, 3, back through towards the center and release the arms out to the side. Let's see how we feel about a little bit more balancing. Tree posture. So starting with the weight onto the right leg, lift the left leg, open the knee out to the side, pressing the foot inside the leg, or wherever feels comfortable. So you could have your toes down into the floor or into your brick. Keep opening the knee out to the side. Inhale and lift the arms up. Exhale, turn the palms, the forearms, the upper arms, and then lift the arms overhead. Keep the tailbone lengthened, the right hip screwed in so that you can lift into the chest and maybe even gaze up towards the ceiling. Good. Gaze back towards the front, arms out, down. Bring the knee back through towards the center and the foot down to the floor. Take the weight onto the left leg, come up onto the toes of the right leg. You may open this way or lift and open. Find somewhere where you can really press the foot against the leg. Now I'm usually round about the knee. got very slippery trousers today. Now the heel would be above the knee, not on the kneecap, because that would push in the wrong direction. So I'm going to screw my hip in, keep that knee open, pressing it against pressing down on the floor, the big toe little to inner heel, outer heel. Lift the arms and turn the palms, the forearms, the upper arms. Remember with your tree that to get a little bit more focus and balance, you may gaze to a fixed point in front of you that's not moving, helping to fix your drishti, your gaze. Perhaps you take the arms over the head so that you're pressing down with the roots, so the leg, and lifting with the leaves and branches, so your fingers up towards the ceiling or the sky if you're outside. Take another couple of breaths. Keep opening the knee out to the side. Then bring the gaze back through to the centre, the arms out, turning, bringing the knee back through towards the centre and the foot to the floor. Take a couple of breaths here. And then being towards the longer end of the mat, for me that is better, you might be able to stay where you are and still look at the screen. You take the hands to the hips, and we're going to, being somewhere in the middle of the mat, and we're going to take the left leg and point it forward, and then we're going to lift the toes. And then here we're going to bend into the front knee, releasing the toes, so we're onto the ball of the foot and the lifted heel. And then see whether you can come up onto the ball of the other foot. And then you're going to see whether you can go down. So your knees are tracking with your toes. Remember that torso is staying upright. So let's see whether we can do this 4 times. And release. I found this one extremely wobbly. Let's see how it goes when the right leg is the leading leg. So again, foot to the front, lift the toes, and then bend the knee, release the toes, so you're lifted in your heel and your calf muscles are engaged. You're going to come up onto the back foot as well, so now you're both wearing invisible stilettos. Not very practical, but there you go. Keep the shoulders and the hips aligned. Inhale, and as you exhale, you come forward. So be gentle, be kind. Only go down any amount that feels good. And you do this 3 more times. And release. Well done. Bring the front leg back so you find yourself down onto your feet, and take a couple of breaths here. Next, take your left foot forward and then come up onto the stiletto foot, only onto the back leg, so you're here. You're going to bend the front knee slightly, but keeping the entirety of the foot flat. And take your hands to your hips. You can straighten the back leg, come up onto the edge of the toenail of the right big toe, and then you can start to bring yourself forward. So your hands onto your hips will help keep those hip bones facing forward, and then really push the back leg back. Allow the chest to come back down a little bit more. So Virabhadrasana 3 or variation of, you can take your hands behind you, you can take your hands to the side, you can even take your arms forward if you want to. You release. You release the back leg, you come all the way back up to your standing posture. Well then, let's do this onto the other side. And this time it is the right leg that comes forward. The entirety of the foot is flat to the floor, big toe, little toe, inhale, outer heel. you're onto your stiletto foot or toes or heels. Bend the right knee so it's pointing towards the toes of the front leg, hands to the hips. Then you can come up and lift, and then if you feel comfortable to, you can bring the torso forward, you can lift the leg, and this can be any amount. We're trying to look from the heel to the crown of the head for a long line. So whether the line is at an angle that is short, long, whether you're a T, straight T or a wonky T, it doesn't matter. Keep both hips down, you push the foot back, you drop the chest a little bit more. Take the arms to whichever angle you feel comfortable to, keeping them to the hips or fingertips behind you, arms to the side or in front. Keep breathing. Then bend the right knee, bring the back leg down to the floor. Find yourself back into your standing posture, taking a couple of breaths. Next posture will be to take your weight onto the left leg, screw that hip in, take the knee in towards the chest, hug it in, and then slide the hands behind, and then you're going to extend that leg here. So you're keeping it up. Left hip lifts up a little bit if it's hoisting to the side, because we want to have those hips facing forward. If you feel that you can, you may even release the arms out to the side or down, but try to keep that leg lifted, and it's very heavy, and it'll be like an anchor wanting to lead you down. Release it when you're ready. Give those legs a little bit of a shake. Then move on to your right leg being your leading leg. Left knee in towards the chest, you hug it in. Then you slide the hands behind the thigh, drop the right hip, lift the left hip, extend the leg. Keep big toe, little toe, inner heel, outer heel, press down. You keep that left leg active. It's going to be a little bit heavier because you're contracting your muscles. You're keeping that kneecap aligned and in line with the toes. And then if you want to, you can release. Take in however many breaths you can until you can't take it anymore. Release. Whoa. So let's give the legs a little bit of a shake here. Releasing. The next will be a combination of the Warrior 3 moving on to what I like to call kicking the door down Bruce Lee style or Michelle Yeoh style. So from here, have a little look first maybe before you attempt it yourself, because you can either do this from the Warrior 3 here to kick the leg and keep that leg lifted, or if you think that maybe the swinging and the balancing might be a little too much, you can just lift the leg and do it in reverse. So you lift the leg and then you would just release back. Okay, so let's give this a try. Take the feet to the floor, hands to the hips. Take the weight onto the left leg, the right leg goes back. Bend the left knee, then start to tip yourself forward into that Warrior 3. Crown of the head forward, foot back, press firmly, big toe, little toe, inhale, outer heel. Then you're going to lift yourself up, bend the right knee in towards the chest, and then lift the leg, lift the arms. You can go, whoa! Victory, kicking the door down. Move and sound here. And then release. Well done. For the other side, I'm going to do it in reverse. So feel free to again be into your Warrior 3 to kicking the leg, or we'll kick the leg and then do the Warrior 3. So take the weight onto the right leg, either Warrior 3 for you now, or kick the leg. And then if you're in the warrior three, you come up to kicking the leg, or if you're kicking the leg, you're going to try to come into the warrior three. And then when you're ready, you come back through towards the center and back to your standing Tadasana. I'm sure you'll agree that either way, it's quite a challenge to balance here. From this, if we can, we're going to aim to come to the floor, coming into our squat. So if the squatting's not for you, feel free to simply come anywhere that feels comfortable. Otherwise, toes and heels together, take the arms forward, shoulders, hips, knee and ankle stacked into a plumb line if you like. You're going to bend the knees, allow the heels to lift, those knees to be forward, you to have the arms forward so that you find your balance. I'm even coming a little bit more forward here. I'm going to lift my torso, release the hands down, and then come forward with the arms again to release my bum to the floor and my legs forward. Good. From this, let's have the feet flat to the floor. Slide the bottom down towards the heels, release yourself down. And actually here, sorry, I forgot to say you might want to have your brick. I'd like to place my brick in between my feet this way up so that my now knees are tracking over my toes, and also this reminds me to keep the big toe, little toe, inner heel, outer heel pressed down. And then when you're ready, inhale, lengthen the tailbone, squish some blade of grass underneath your back, or imagine you're doing this so that you lengthen the tailbone, press your feet, and then you're going to lift your pelvis, you're going to lift your belly, you're going to lift your ribs, you're going to lift your shoulders. If you want to, you're going to roll the shoulders under. Pressing the palms down. You might even be able to bring the heels a little bit more in and then take the hands to the back of the ankles, lifting yourself a little bit more. Try to keep those knees tracking with the toes. Stay for however many breaths feels comfortable. You may have come down already. And then release the shoulders, release the upper back, the middle back, the lower back, and the buttocks. I'm going to allow my legs to lift the brick away from the mat, then bring my feet flat to the floor. Allow the knees to knock in and the feet to be a little bit wider. Then pigeon toe the feet back through towards the center. Take right knee in, left knee in, hug the knees, rocking from side to side. Tuck the chin, inhale as you exhale, forehead towards the knees. Inhale, release yourself all the way down. Exhale, forehead to knees. Inhale all the way down. Exhale, forehead to knees. Inhale, release your head all the way down. Bring your feet flat to the floor and allow yourself to stay here for a couple of breaths. And then take your toes and heels together, the knees together, arms out to shoulder height. Allow the knees to roll over towards the right side, so you keep big toe and inner heel together. Your knees may want to separate
and that's okay. Try to make sure to relax the right side of the body down to the ground, particularly in the lower legs. So it doesn't matter if the right knee doesn't touch the floor, but make sure that somewhere alongside the leg there is a point of contact with the floor, so there is no holding of tension. And then if that feels comfortable, you may gaze over towards the left arm. Remember too that your legs could be, the feet could be reaching more towards the bottom of the mat, or your knees could be reaching more towards your right arm. That will modify the twist and the stretch in the back. So see what feels right. We stay here for a few breaths. Bring the nose to the centre, the knees to the centre. Recenter yourself so that both shoulders rest equally on the floor. And when you're ready, roll the knees over towards the left, toes and heels together. Perhaps stay here a little longer so that you can adjust where the feet will reside, a little lower down or a little knees higher up. And if and when you feel comfortable, you can gaze over towards the right side. Maybe close your eyes here. And bring the nose, then the knees back through to the centre. Recenter yourself. Bring the arms a little closer to the side of the body. Perhaps it's time to reach towards a layer or two to come to your relaxation. And you'll come to adopt the posture that makes you feel the most comfortable. Whether it's a Shavasana or the legs extended, so that you're a little bit into a Y shape with the arms slightly closer to the side of the body. Or maybe you would like to support your lower back with your feet flat to the floor and the knees up towards the ceiling. Wherever you are, feel that your body is gently resting and ready to let go of the weight of the body. And you do this by not keeping tension in your body. So gently over the next few breaths, scan through your body. Maybe you are clenching your jaw or holding a little tension into the buttocks or into the hands, wherever it is, see whether you can bring your inhale into that particular area, tightening some more, and then releasing all of it as you exhale. And then work your way through your body. Identify if there are any other areas with residual tensions that could do with the inhale tightening and the exhale releasing the tension. And then when you're done, you can relax your forehead, separate your teeth and your lips, and allow your body to weigh as much as it can against the floor. Resting. Surrendering. Allowing that posture that you are in, feeling relaxed, feeling supported, to allow the muscles in your brain to rest, to take stock, to revive. When you feel ready to, start to bring the awareness of your senses back into your body. Take your thumb tips towards your index fingertips and circle around the fingertip.
Move to the middle finger. The ring finger. And the little finger. And then moving all of the fingers, the wrists, moving your fingertips. You have already your toes, your ankles. We're going to slowly bring ourselves back into more movement, whatever feels right, good, appropriate for you right now. Eventually rolling yourself over onto one side, curled up into a ball, supporting your head. Open your eyes, allow your gaze to focus. Press your top hand down to the floor, make your way back up to a comfortable seated posture of your choice. Find your spine long once more, the palms facing down towards your legs or the floor. Let's take 3 breaths together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale through the mouth. Let's take one more breath. And release the thumbs to the forehead for kind thoughts towards yourself and others. To your lips for kind words towards yourself and others. And to your heart for kind actions towards yourself and others. I salute you. Namaste.